Everybody about a minute or two to get notified before we get in here real quick. We got to keep talking about this $880 million settlement and the reaction or lack thereof from the world. You know, this is the whole world in a nutshell. This is exposing the church of Satan and the vassals that are present in the entire world. You know, and this is the Most High exposing these people. This is that spiritual battle that's going on that the other nations know that we are in. But our people, many of them are still asleep. Many of them still going to these churches. Many of them still giving their prayers to Satan. And as you can see, the other nations don't care. That's why they made this pact or this agreement with Satan, and they already know it. They know that they made an agreement with Satan. You know what I'm saying? They know that they've given their children over to Satan. 1,300 families, 1,300 cases. And you're telling me not one priest is going to jail? Not one of their superiors is going to jail? 1,300 cases. Now, this is just one diocese. And this is really going back to the 70s and the 80s. Going back to the 70s. So this is like, and this is, you know they didn't get all the cases. Right? We already know they didn't get all the cases. There was people that still probably passed away, that died already, that, you know, so they didn't get everybody. But this is just one diocese. And they got to pay $880 million. And they said because they've already made other agreements and everything else, that it totals up to $1.5 billion in settlements. Now, you can tell like, they don't care. They're like, oh, we'll just pull that out of reserves. And, you know, and we take some loans and we'll just move some money around and we'll just come up with this $1.5 billion. But then they're constantly crying poor and how you need to keep giving them money. See, this is the Most High exposing the vassals. Where are all the people that should be up in arms exposing this church? Where are all the people that should be up in arms? Where are all these supposed people that hate the Catholic Church? The Protestants, right? The Baptists, the Presbyterians, the Lutherans, the people who just say that the Church of the Catholic Church is evil.
The Apostolic.
None of them are coming out and saying anything. Not saying a word. Why is that? Because they're all part of the Catholic Church. They're all part of the Catholic Church. They're all vassals to the church. And now you understand like why they were able to get the Native Americans to give their kids to the church, and they were able to take them to these boarding schools and do whatever they wanted to with these kids. Because they were like sacrifices, you know, for them to be able to get out of being treated like us. And see, like, if you're only going back to the 70s, 80s, 90s, and you're coming up with one diocese and you're coming up with almost $1 billion, what do you think is going to happen when Most High's going to make you start paying for the last 500 years of what you've done to our people? This is why you're going into captivity and you're going to have to pay double. And see, now you understand, like, the Most High is showing you how it works with these vassals. You know, the vast majority, if you're looking at Los Angeles, you're going back to the 70s, and you're going back to the 80s and 90s, which people are predominantly going to be attending those churches? Who's going to be predominantly attending those churches from the for the the Los Angeles Diocese of the Catholic Church? It's going to be Latinos. Latinos are going to be the main ones. I'm sure the majority of the people that had those children that were being assaulted like that, right? But they come up with all this money to pay these people, because we know us Negroes weren't even like, that's why there's so few people like Negroes in these churches, because we were never looked at as an equal. We've always been looked at as property. We've always been looked at as less than. And that's why many of the people who go to the churches look down on us, because that is that's the vibe, that is the spirit that they push there. Okay? So now you see that they're giving money back to the their vassals. But see, they're only giving money to the vassals, the people that they, our people that they got the vast majority of their holdings from. They don't even acknowledge. They don't even acknowledge what they did to the so-called Negroes. They don't even acknowledge that in 1502 they set up chattel slavery. And you vassals are along with them, allowing them to go around here acting as if somehow they're some godly organization. And while they're raping your sons and daughters, and you don't say a word. You don't say one word. So anyone not saying a word right now, you already know they're mobbed up over here with the Church of Satan. They're not allowed to say anything against them. But I always say, no, because they always talk about Ish, look at the people that you can't criticize, and you know who runs everything. Look at the people you can't criticize, and those are the ones that are running everything. And they always put the vassal Ish out there, because they have all these places that, they have the Defamation League and everything else. I said they have all of these certain people out there who say, you can't say this about Ish, you can't say this and that about Ish, you can't say this. But ultimately, on a much grander scale, no one says one damn thing about the Catholic Church. Now, you're talking about 500 plus years of raping, robbing, murder, and no one is standing up to say anything about the Catholic Church. So who is really the group that you can't criticize? I mean, Ish has only been here since 1948. So, but see, they put them out there on Front Street. They put Ish out there. Oh, it's those you can't say anything about Ish. You can't say anything controversial about them. You can't say, no, it's not them, man. I said, you can't say anything about the Catholic Church. When I'm looking at all these denominations, what's up, Brother Moriel? When I look at all these denominations, all of these people, billions and billions of people, and no one is talking about the $880 million payoff that the one diocese has just made an agreement to. Exactly. Now you see who the devil is and who you really can't criticize. Now, I thought you would see Protestants left and right coming out here, jumping on the Catholic Church. I thought I'd see all the Baptists out here talking about this. All the Jehovah's Witnesses and Mormons, all you people who sit there and talk about how evil the Catholic Church is. I thought I would see all these people. How about the people that go to these churches? You can't say, hey, this is wrong. I don't agree with this. Because now, how do you know that the priest that you're going to that's blessing you isn't a pedophile? Because none of these people were put out there. How do you know that their superiors weren't the ones that you're seeing every single day, aren't the ones that have just been allowing this to happen and moving them from place to place to place? You see what I'm saying? Like, this is why this is much bigger. See, anyone, you say you're in the awakening, you say you're in the truth, you say that we're the Hebrew Israelites and that we only answer to the Most High, but you are still limiting yourself to 66 books. You're still limiting yourself to 80 books. They own all the land over here. What are we talking about Africa? Everyone always tries to talk about Africa. When they came over here, and that's when they got rich. They didn't rush over to Africa to get rich. They came over here to the promised lands, which is what the Most High is taking away from them. But see, these people, where's all the outrage? Where's all this outrage? You're saying nothing. So you want to know who runs this world? You want to know who runs the world here? Look at who you're not seeing being criticized. When they get caught doing stuff. They always talk about, well, Ish is bombing this place and Ish is bombing that place and they're bombing the Gaza, they're bombing Lebanon, they're doing this. Yeah, but no one does anything to them, right? Why is that? Because they're all in it together. Man, just because I see a bomb going off in a certain area and I see some smoke, that doesn't mean they're destroying places and whatever else. I don't believe that stuff anymore. I said because all these people in the Catholic Church just allowed 1,300 cases. They allowed all their children to be sexually assaulted by priests. But then on tomorrow or Sunday, 2 days from now, they're still going to go to that church and be, oh, thank you. Can you absolve me of my sins? Oh, I need to go make sure I go to confession. So you got to follow all these rules that they don't got to follow. Oh, I need to go this so you guys can, approve me for getting married. I need you guys to bless my marriage. Bless your marriage? You're letting people who rape children bless your marriage. You're letting people who rape little kids tell you what to do to get to heaven. That's what you're telling me right now. And all you churches who ain't saying nothing. All you people go to the church, go to the Catholic Church, are not saying anything. This is barely like a little blip on the screen last night. A 2 or 3 minute story. How in the hell is the moral authority of your life, the moral authority of your world, exposed like this and you say nothing? Like I noticed that a lot about even like the camps. They don't say anything about these kinds of topics or whatever else. But like I said, how are you gonna let a group of people who just almost paid $1 billion in a settlement dictate what you read? Dictate what you study? How exactly does that work out? See, that is the organization that you really can't criticize.
Roast them, Gino.
Where's the Pope at? Oh, the Pope's gonna bust out and I'm sorry, man.
Roast them, Big Gino.
Yeah, I mean, I promise you it's not gonna happen again. Make sure your kids show up to help us out at Mass on Sunday. Right? Oh yeah, hey man, I promise, man. I know we've been doing this for like 500 years, but I promise going forward we won't do it again. Hey, make sure that your daughter and your son get there to church early. You know what I'm saying? Make sure that they're for all 3 services. You know what? I need them to stay a little bit later too. You know what? Maybe just pick them up Sunday night. When we're done with Mass.
Roast
them. You know what I'm saying? This is what's going on, and people are just, oh yeah, I'll be right there. I'll be there. I'll make sure you're there. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
No religion. All religions are of the devil, even Islam.
Yep.
That was made up by the Catholic Church as well.
Yep.
Are they talking about who the real Israelites are? Are they bringing out this truth? Or are they being quiet too? Exactly. They've been doing all this stuff way before Diddy, but you see, those are the people they'll put out there. They'll put him out there is what he's doing, but then the stuff that they've been doing for way worse, way longer, they just sweep it under the rug. Is this not how this work goes on? Just like people talking about Islam, like all these Arabs, are they telling the truth? Are they admitting who we are? Are they talking about the things that they've done to us? Are they asking for forgiveness of what happened to us? Absolutely not. That's their religion, that's their blessing to go into Islam and everything else. I told you, it's all religions. No one, whereas if Islam or these other religions such a more authority, why aren't they saying anything about the Catholic Church? Why aren't they saying anything about the Catholic Church and what they've been doing? Like I said, anyone who's being quiet and not holding these people to the fire and not bringing out this truth here at the end, they're all part of the Catholic Church. They are all adversaries to the Most High. That's it. You see what I'm saying? Like that's it. Like the testimony of Yahushua is the spirit of prophecy. Are any of them talking about us waking up in the lands of our captivity? Are any of them talking about how, we're waking up in the lands of our captivity, the Holy Spirit's come back to bring all things back into remembrance of us? See, the thing is this. The whole world is mourning right now because the wicked are in rulership. And no one is bringing that up. No one is talking about how the Catholic Church is a church of Satan and that they are ruling the world. And that's why the whole world is upside down.
Mm-hmm.
That goes for, that goes for so-called colonizers, that goes for the vassals. See, we were the only ones that have been excluded from all of that. We were kicked out of all that. We didn't have that opportunity to join with them. So therefore, the people who are going to be awakened right now are us. The other nations, they already knew they already made a covenant with Satan. They know that they already made a covenant with Satan. They know that. They know that they had to give their kids away. They already know that they're following the wicked. They already know the world's going to be turned upside down. But see, when the righteous, or the ones that they've excluded, the Israelites are back in rulership, that is when the world will rejoice. So it is not Ish that you can't criticize. It's the Catholic Church, because you're not seeing anyone criticizing this whole situation about $880 million payoff and no one goes to jail. We'll be coming back again later on. Much love, family. Shalom.